Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted with my esteemed colleagues
Ryan,
Dave,
Nate.
and today we got a special video. As you've noted, we all have our beards, so today we're going to talk about dwarves.
we always have our beards, but today we are going to talk about dwarves.
But now they serve more than one purpose.
Right.
That's right.
Duo. Yeah, that's right.
So dwarves, 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. What do we think?
they're short.
They're stout.
All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Like little teapots, but with armor and axes to your face.
They can be
Little
belligerent.
Iron D-bots. No, I like dwarves. It's one of my favorite races.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you look at the fact that are there any other races that get armor proficiencies?
No.
No, negative.
So, really, with your character in my game, he's a dwarf. That's a wizard.
He
and
is.
He's walking around in armor.
An
Who
abomination.
does that? Who
So-
does that?
So it's the only real race class combination or race combination that, without taking some kind of feat or multi-classing, gives him the armor.
It also gives you 4 martial weapons.
So you could easily be a wizard or sorcerer or somebody who doesn't have a lot of combat protection or ability to deal out straight damage due to better weapons, and you can be a dwarf and have that.
But let's be specific, though. It really is only the mountain dwarf that gets armor proficiency.
Right.
Because if you're a help dwarf, screw you.
That's right. Yeah.
Everyone knows they're not real dwarves anyway. You might as well be a gully dwarf.
Or a hobbit or something.
Or a hobbit or something.
Yeah.
Can we say hobbit? Can we be sued for saying hobbit?
No, I don't think so.
I think if we try and sell something with it on it.
Maybe we just shouldn't be
Hill
habitual about
dwarves.
it.
yeah.
The
Dwarf light.
dwarf light.
If you sell a dwarf holding a hobbit, is that a hobbit on it?
I think that counts.
But with that, yeah, it's like the mountain dwarves that get armor training. Hill dwarves, they get dwarven toughness instead.
You get your
They get bonus hit point.
So perhaps they're tougher then, because the one guy's got to wear the armor, and the other guy gets.
It's like I use my face.
Yeah, the only armor is
Just don't-
this.
Just don't hit me for more than a point of damage per level,
Right,
or the impressiveness wears off.
yeah, real quick.
No, I love the dwarves. I love the dwarves in 5th edition. I love what they've done with them. I love the fact that you start off with a tool proficiency, which is freaking badass. Because if you're a dwarf, you should be brewing, or chiseling, or forging something. You're a dwarf.
Yeah, you should be doing something industrious, definitely.
You just know how to do it. I mean, dwarves. The dwarven resistance advantage on saving throws against poison, and you have resistance against poison damage. So it's like screw you, poison. I drink poison.
I scoffed.
I drink it.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it. Pour the poison and poison all over me. It's great. Stone cunning, they brought that back, which is good. You're a dwarf, and if stuff ain't right on the ground, you just know it. You just know it.
Got that. What does that do? Is it advantage on perception checks and notice? Or?
No, it gives you double proficiency to history checks to notice unusual stonework.
Right.
So, the dwarves, I think it's one of the best races in the book. I mean, +2 to strength and con if you're a mountain dwarf. Now, the only bad thing about that is your one major benefit is, being able to wear light and medium armor, which is not very useful for most of the classes that you're probably going to take anyway.
right.
But they're the only ones that get a +4 to stats, other than the half elf and the human. And the human, if you use the variant, they don't get it.
Right.
So I think that's kind of like the counterpoint there, because they're really weighted for those classes. that
Right.
rely
Well,
on
I mean,
stats.
yeah, the counterbalance is it becomes redundant for a lot of the optimal choices. So.
But the funny thing is with the dwarves and the sub races, most of the dwarf kit comes under dwarf. The sub race itself doesn't actually give you very much.
Right.
It gives you for them it's only the
Stat
second
bonus
stat
and one thing.
and one thing, yeah. Where other things aren't like that.
They're a lot more diverse.
We're getting ready to. I think we're all going to be playing in this upcoming game for Brigade Con, and it's a meat grinder. And I want to make the Hill Dwarf Sorcerer Dragon Bloodline, because as a 7th level sorcerer, I can have like 80 hit points if I just take average.
Right.
And and I take the toughness feat at 4th level. I think that's pretty freaking amazing.
That is pretty incredible.
You
I wanna
can
be
wade
a
into combat for a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna try not to do that.
Yeah, that'd be probably a better idea.
Yeah. Why block with my face when I can block with someone else's?
Right. So is he going to strap? Well, he's not going to strap on the armor because he's not the mountain dwarf. So
Right.
He's going to have that 13 AC though.
He's gonna have that 13 AC before next, and he's just gonna have a lot of hit points, and he's just gonna try and stay away from people.
Stay away from trouble. Yeah.
I don't. We haven't played and gotten characters up past third level yet, so I have to see what the sorcerer actually gets.
Right. Yeah.
So for 6th level, I guess.
Oh man, all those spell points are going to be sweet. But let's get back to dwarf, I guess.
It was a dwarf with
Yeah.
sorcery, spell points, and stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Stuff and freaking stuff and dwarves.
Dwarf.
So I don't know. I've been doing a lot of talking. Anybody else have an opinion about dwarves?
Well, they're slower
well, except for for the slower.
when it comes to the speed.
On the speed.
No,
with
everyone
them-
else is hasty.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
really what
okay.
it comes down to.
They're
When they cut down your legs, then
they're
you're moving
deliberate.
about the same space.
But
they're
they,
deliberate.
in previous editions, the dwarves had a speed of 20, whereas
This
they're
is true.
25, but they don't have their speed reduced by heavy armor.
Yeah. Well, and also too though, so yeah, all the the smaller/slower races, like their speed is less hindered. I felt maybe that's because like when you're talking about land speeds of characters adventuring together, like the gap between that 10 foot of movement really adds up when you're talking across miles and days.
Yeah, without some kind of donkey or a horse or something.
Yeah.
And dwarves don't ride.
Yeah, with self-respect and
But I
don't
mean,
ride a donkey.
Unless you're riding a berserker riding a wild boar, a berserking boar, then it's acceptable. That's pretty cool.
So if there's a flavor style mount, then you'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Or a rhinoceros.
Barbecue flavored mount.
Oh, boy.
Barbecue flavored mount.
Wild dial boar.
Anybody got any favorite dwarves?
I like pickle.
Yeah, pickle was good. Yeah.
He's a very off type dwarf at
Pickle
the
Boulder
time.
Shoulder, the dwarven druid.
Gortrak is my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Who was Gortrak?
Gortrak is a slayer in the Warhammer
Yes.
world.
All he wants to do is die, and he's too good.
You
to
can't
live.
manage that, make that happen.
Yeah.
Or his enemies suck too much, one or the other.
He's unkillable.
He's off killing.
I'm just gonna go slay this. Nope, that didn't happen. Or, nope, that didn't kill me. I'm gonna go slay this thing. It's more powerful.
demons, giants. Yeah.
There's like a dozen books written, and each one is slayer of something.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're running out of. It's going to be God Slayer soon.
Yeah.
How about you, Ryan? Any favorite dwarves?
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of a dwarf that like really sort of stuck out at me. Just because, I mean, other than like Pickle, because Pickle is pretty sweet. But all the other ones are pretty like stereotypical. Like even Bruenor Battlehammer,
Right.
like he's your Joe dwarf,
Right.
really, like in a way.
Well,
So-
I always love the line from Lord of the Rings that Gimli put out there. He's talking about being
A real woman has a beard. What?
No, that's from the D&D movie.
Uh,
But no, he's talking about being tired, and he says, give me a row of orc necks and room to swing me axe, and you'll see the weariness fly from me bones. I always love that line.
Yeah.
no-
But I feel like that.
Gino Hammer Thrower.
Oh man.
Oh, Gino was good. I forgot about Gino. Yeah.
How can you forget about
That's
Gino?
going back a ways. It's been a long time since I read
What's the
those
one with the
books.
Morning Stars that's really annoying to listen to?
Athergate.
Athergate, yeah.
Was that in that same series?
No, it was,
That's the Drizzt books.
Oh,
that
Drizzt books.
that
you
some of
haven't
us
gotten
like to
yet.
read.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a while.
You realize that all these dwarves you're mentioning is all RA, right?
Yeah.
Pickle, Athergate, Brunar,
Well, I didn't mention
Gino.
Oh, there was also
Mine wasn't alright.
Well, yeah.
There was
yours
also Thibbledorf.
Double Dwarf Point, the Battle
The
Rager.
Berserker. Yeah, that was freaking
Can,
crazy.
can we come up with a non-RA dwarf? Does anybody else who wants to how to write about a dwarf, for the love of God?
I just feel like just most dwarves are written like Bruenor Battlehammer or
They are, I
or the
mean-
Lord, or Gimli.
Flint.
Yeah.
Flint.
Flynn is
Fireforge or Fire. I think it was Fireforge.
Yeah, I only read the first trilogy, and that was many years ago, and I've kind of washed much of that out of my brain. Dragonlance has never really captured me.
Again, he's another one that's basically like kind of He's like the prototype type dwarf though, because he was one of the early.
He was there
ones.
first.
OG.
Yeah, for TSR and Watts anyway.
Mm.
So I don't know any dwarven characters anybody you want to play. What do you guys think? Yeah, I have a couple. I actually like that race that I keep wanting to go back to the well.
Yeah.
I want to play a rogue crossbow sniper.
You had mentioned
fun.
a game that our friend Mark ran as a one shotter. I played a dwarf barbarian for that one.
Oh, I love the dwarf
The
barbarian.
Dwarf Barbarian would be really solid, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I get in this. I don't know. Like, do you go Hell Dwarf or you go Mountain Dwarf in 5th? Because you get the +2 strength, right? That's always good as a barbarian, and they both get the con, right? And since your armor class is going to go off your con,
right? Do you go for the strength? Or sorry, do you go for the strength or do you go for the extra hit point? It depends upon how you really see it playing out.
Well, here's the thing with Barbarian. A lot of Barbarian is about trading off your ability to be hit. Like, you give people advantage to hit you usually to have advantage on your attacks, and that's a part of their thing. So I would say that you want to deal more damage on the front end, i.e. strength, because you're hoping to drop things quicker.
I don't know though. Like, even if you go with the stat array or the point buy, 16 hit points at first level.
That's pretty impressive.
That's kind of tempting.
Yeah. Although there's still many things that can drop you. So.
But then your secondary stat is wisdom, which is, it's not horrible. It's
as
good
a barbarian, you're still going to get, that's going to help you with survival and perception. If you're going that route, you're still a natural class. So
yeah, so you might want to put like an 11 in there to get the 12. Yeah.
Absolutely. You put one of your lower numbers, in there. So it's a choice. How about you guys out there? What do you think makes the better dwarf barbarian, hill or mountain? You decide.
Versus
Death battle.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a mention about the Durgar, but that's in the little green boxes.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating. They mentioned, here's the stats for if you want to play a Drow Elf, but we're not going to tell you how to play a Durgar. Wah, wah.
Yeah, and I find a Dugar is more interesting anyway. Psionic dwarves.
Or
Good stuff.
yeah, it'd be fun to do like an Underdark Ranger sort of dwarf. That'd be pretty cool. Or Underdark Druid. Would be pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you play that without going Circle of the Moon?
Right.
That would be tough. But that's funny too but see again, like, I guess the Hell Dwarf is really good for that because you get the con
And the wisdom.
you get the wisdom,
Yeah.
extra hit points help everybody.
Yeah.
You can use the better weapon selection.
Yeah, just in case. Although, are you restricted by your class, or is it just that Druid doesn't give you these things? So
It's just armor that they have a problem with.
right.
You're still restricted to going hide as your best, unless you can find that
Well, you need
crazy,
specialty.
that crazy picture where I see somebody wearing this massive suit of like what looks like plate mail but it's made out of wood. I'm still waiting.
That's just stuff.
You just tell people no. It's
That's mentally handicapped.
that's just made out of it's plate mail. It's just made out of bark. That's no big deal. It's only not weird.
Well, they can wear a dragon scale
Yeah, it's true.
Or Boule shell.
Yeah.
or belay shell. They have to go hunting down Gorgons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, Gorgon, come here.
So
Come here.
I could see you getting plate out of things like, I don't know, how tough is an Ankeg to hit? It's got some stuff on it, right?
Yeah, but it's not as good.
Well, yeah, there's going to be some.
It's not as cool as dragon plate.
Well, yeah, it would have to be something, I guess, magical to be equivalent to a full plate set.
I think a Gorgon head would be
or
a really sweet home.
plate, as they call it.
Not bad.
So for a druid dwarf wanting to wear a really heavy or big armor, then yeah, beyond hide, you need some kind of magical beasts going on. But
So any other thoughts or stuff on dwarf?
Stuff on dwarf.
Well, they get dark vision like everybody else.
Like everyone who's not human halfling or
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
They get it.
sore subject there.
Yeah.
See all our other videos where we talk about races.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You did mention that they've heavy armor doesn't reduce their speed. But that's only for, which is also, that's actually
Well, with
pretty
the strength
strong.
restrictions, right?
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. Your speed's only reduced if you don't have high enough strength, unless you're a dwarf. Then you're like, I don't care. I got a 4 strength. I wear plate mail. Bite me.
Just a dwarf doing dwarf things.
That's
Yeah,
it. We're
that's right.
dwarves. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, we're born in it or something.
Oh, so they don't have to have the strength requirement to
No,
use the armor.
they skip the strength requirement.
So it would be easier to play against type like low strength finesse fighter or something like that.
Or-
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a dwarf caster.
and still be able to slap on the armor.
The finesse fighter in plate mail.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's okay. We get what you mean.
But yeah, you could do the dwarven caster in the plate mail. Well, not plate mail because they don't get the heavy armor.
Well, yeah, but you could eventually
You-
buy
You
it.
get the feet or whatever.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
Mal,
take
and
the
let's
feet.
say you could do medium armor, and you just couldn't. You'd have to do that thing where you get the that feat that gives you +3 instead of the +2. But then you know, there's a feat that you can.
Well, it lets you.
for armor.
Yeah, your maximum
Yeah,
dex.
your
bonus.
maximum dex bonus is 1 higher.
Or you
so.
could just take the feat that gives you proficiency in the plate mail. Or no, take the level of fighter, then get your castery thing, and there you go.
Yeah, but that won't give you heavy armor.
Fighter doesn't give you heavy armor.
No.
Not as a.
Didn't you
not as a
watch
multi-class.
Spoonie's video?
Yeah.
Not as a multi-class, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have
Yeah.
to be the fighter first.
You have to take fighter first.
Oh yeah. No, that's what I meant. I meant,
Now, there's-
dip in the fighter
Oh.
and then go caster.
There's not much penalty for starting off as basically the people that get the higher skill in martial weapons and in armor, and then going to somebody who's like basically weapon and
There's
armor
only
proficiency
there's only a
light.
few restrictions on the multi class, and
Know what I'm curious about? What if you go from, say, you're a wizard, mountain dwarf, and you have light and medium armor, and then you dip into cleric for, I don't know, war domain, right? Part of war domain is heavy armor proficiency.
Yeah.
Well, you get it as a domain feature, so it wouldn't be part of your.
That's what
It's
I
not
mean.
part of your class thing.
yeah, it would if you did that specifically, then yes, you have to take the 2 levels to get the domain, wouldn't you?
You get no. You cleric is domain at first level.
Yeah.
So then there you go. That's how.
Ah, loophole.
And then you could take fighter levels, but you'd have to have
'Cause
like a
you-
13
you-
and everything.
Then you
right?
get the shield
Because
proficiency.
you
Yeah.
don't get the proficiencies from the cleric, but you do get the
The domain powers.
domain powers, which gives you the heavy armor.
I know. I was just inspired.
Yeah.
Or you could just be a cleric first.
Yeah,
Just saying.
it feels better when you feel like you're cheating the system somehow,
Right. But not actually.
but not actually. Maybe it's just me.
I can throw some heals out.
To
To
put on some
himself.
plate mail.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Plate mail is really expensive.
Plate
I was checking it out when making my Tempest guy.
Well,
Like
it's
1500
it's expensive and it'll take forever to make.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, that's why
couple
you
years.
that's why the best thing to do is get someone started making it before you can even wear it.
Yeah, when you're like first level, figure out a payment plan, a layaway.
Buying this plate mail piecemeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, just do the boots first.
Is that finger done yet? On the gauntlet.
There you go.
We'll slowly assemble it like Voltron.
All right, so do we got our beard on?
I think so, man. Fifth
think that's-
edition
yeah.
dwarves kick ass. I'm
Yeah.
digging them. One of my favorite classes.
Yeah, I think they're fairly like rules light as some of the various classes go. Like there's not a ton to figure out with them. They're pretty basic.
Nah, they just
But-
give you a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah.
That has a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nothing's really overpowering. I mean, you get the martial weapons. You have an armor option in there. You have extra hit points options in there. They can see in the dark. You get a tool option. It's not bad.
And you know stuff about stone.
Right, and you drink poison for breakfast.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
That pretty
Instead of
much sums
coffee.
up the dwarf.
Basically, your dwarven character can just go in the bars challenging people to drink in poison drinking contests and drink them under the table.
I
Literally,
think they'd
because
have
they're
to be
going to be dead.
intoxicated a little bit first. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess with that, you guys can find us over on the Facebooks. Anywhere else?
You can check us out on pretty much any social media. We're everywhere.
Nerdarchy.com. We have a
Reddit.
blog going and
Yeah.
Reddit there.
I guess and with that,
Until next time,
stay
stay
nerdy.
nerdy.
we be sued for saying hobbit?
No, I don't think so.
I think if we try and sell something with it on it.
Maybe we just shouldn't be
Hill
habitual about it.
dwarves.
Yeah.
The
Dwarf light.
dwarf light.
If you sell a dwarf holding a hobbit, is that a hobbit on it?
I think that counts. I think that counts.
But with that, yeah, it's like the mountain dwarves that get armor training. Hill dwarves, they get.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted with my esteemed colleagues,
Brian?
Dave.
Nate.
and today we got a special video. As you've noted, we all have our beards, so today we're going to talk about dwarves.
We always have our beards, but today we are going to talk about dwarves.
But now they serve more than one purpose.
Right.
That's right.
Duo. Yeah, that's right.
So dwarves, 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. What do we think?
They're short.
They're stout.
All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Like little teapots, but
Yeah.
with armor and axes to your face.
They can be
Little
belligerent.
Iron D-bots. No, I like dwarves. It's one of my favorite races.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you look at the fact that are there any other races that get armor proficiencies?
No.
No, negative.
So,
Be a wizard or sorcerer or somebody who doesn't have a lot of combat protection or ability to deal out straight damage due to better weapons, and you can be a dwarf and have that.
But let's be specific, though. It really is only the mountain dwarf that gets armor proficiency.
right.
Because if you're a elf dwarf, screw you.
That's right. Yeah.
Everyone knows they're not real dwarves anyway. You might as well be a gully dwarf.
or a hobbit or something.
Or a hobbit or something.
Yeah.
Can we say hobbit?
Really, with your character in my game,
Uh-huh.
he's a dwarf. That's a wizard.
He
and
is.
he's walking around in armor.
An
Who does
abomination.
that? Who
So-
does that?
So it's the only real, race class combination or race combination that, without taking some kind of feat or multi-classing, gives him the armor.
It also gives you 4 martial weapons.
So you could easily